Coming up in NewsNight, the Party Monarch competition in full swing at the National Botanical Gardens. Government commits to modernizing the country's media framework. And in sports, Barbados senior basketballers march into the next stage of the FIBA America with an unbeaten record in the first qualifiers.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening with NewsNight. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Despite the threat of rain, thousands of people have converged on the National Botanical Gardens St. Michael for the Party Monarch competition. The event, produced by the National Cultural Foundation, features a Sweet Soca and Power Soca contest under one banner. It just started after 4 p.m. with the Sweet Soca competition, and all 8 contestants have already performed. The Power Soca is expected to get underway shortly. It too will have 8 competitors. The winner of each category will take home $100,000 in prize money. Later tonight, when the judging is all done and the points tabulated, Barbadians will know who are the winners of the Sweet Soca and Power Soca competitions. We will, of course, have those results posted on our social media pages as soon as they're released, and that full story will be tomorrow in NewsNight. Barbados' housing policy has a critical role to play in the country's crime prevention fight. The link was made by Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony for housing development at Vineyard St. Philip. PM Motley stated that home ownership is important, particularly for young people. She warns that a lack of access to housing can contribute to challenges such as intergenerational poverty and crime.
When they find out that they have nowhere to put their family, or they are at the mercy of the rest of the family, that is how shanties develop in people's yards. That is how people end up living in houses without waterborne facilities. That is how town planning is then compromised by you not being able to monitor, because more often than not the shanty is behind a paling and you don't even know it's there. That is how intergenerational poverty is supported. That is how crime grows and lawlessness grows in a society.
Served in military forces outside of the Commonwealth are now eligible for membership in the Barbados Legion. This has been disclosed by Chairman of the Barbados Legion, Lieutenant Colonel Athaline Branch, during a church service to mark their 69th anniversary at the Bethel Methodist Church today. Minister of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Adrian Ford, members of the Barbados Defense Force, the Barbados Regiment Reserve, the Coast Guard, and the Cadet Corps were in attendance. Lieutenant Colonel Branch explains this was one of the adjustments recently made within the organization.
We made some changes to our Constitution this year, and some of those changes was to include Barbadians who served in other forces as members of the Barbados Legion. Before, it was just members from the Commonwealth. So we've now extended it to include any member, any Barbadian who has served with a force overseas. I would like to say that you only have to turn on any media platform and read about the wars raging around the world. And more than likely, there will probably be a Bajan among those soldiers.
She says spouses and civilian staff can also now become members.
We have also extended membership to the spouses and the civilian staff who quietly support our soldiers throughout their career, putting in the same long hours with hardly a complaint, and we hope that they will take up the offer to become members. We continue our assistance to veterans and widows with living expenses, medical assistance, and repairs to housing to those in need.
Family and friends of the late Dr. Shelley-Ann Cox gathered today to pay respect to the former Chief Fisheries Officer. This was done during a viewing at the Colin Parkinson Memorial Chapel at the Lyndhurst Funeral Home ahead of her official funeral tomorrow. It gave mourners the opportunity to reflect on the life and legacy of Dr. Cox, who passed away last month, a death that sent shockwaves throughout the country. Among the many who attended were her parents, sister, and son, along with many stakeholders in the fishing industry. The funeral for Dr. Shelley-Ann Cox will be held tomorrow at the Wilde Gymnasium at 1 p.m. Well, coming up, the Information Minister shares his view on the future of the media. The media landscape in Barbados is changing rapidly, and Minister of Home Affairs and Information Gregory Nichols says government intends to modernize the country's media framework to keep pace with those changes. Speaking at the Barbados Association of Journalists and Media Workers annual general meeting, the minister stressed the importance of professional journalism in safeguarding democracy.
Freedom of information is often discussed in terms of legislation. While legislation is undoubtedly an important aspect of the conversation, there is a much broader principle that grounds this discussion. It is the principle of fostering a culture in which citizens have confidence that public institutions operate transparently, communicate effectively, and remain accountable to the people that they serve. That principle is a fundamental principle to democratic governance in our republic. An informed public is better equipped to participate meaningfully in national life. Citizens make stronger decisions when they have access to accurate, timely, and reliable information.
Minister Nichols says while information is now shared almost instantly through digital platforms, speed should never come at the expense of accuracy. He warns that misinformation, disinformation, and artificial intelligence are making the work of journalists increasingly difficult.
The media occupy a central place in this ecosystem. Journalists serve as interpreters of public affairs, helping citizens to understand complex issues, scrutinizing institutions, amplifying diverse voices, and contributing to informed national dialogue. These responsibilities are not always easy. They require professionalism, fairness, accuracy, and an unwavering commitment to ethical standards. In today's environment, those responsibilities have become even more challenging. We live in an age where information travels instantly, but accuracy does not always keep pace with speed.
It was a nostalgic occasion as the Carter's Shining Stars Calypso tent paid tribute to renowned calypsonians who've passed away. The tent hosted a special show as part of its 2026 crop over offerings at the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre in Queen's Park. Our Nesta Henry was there and has that story.
We tell them scratch, 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 ring the cat attack.
Reigning Scotiabank Junior Calypso monarch King K scratching as he delivers Colin Observery's legendary 1991 track, Cat Attack. It is a convincing performance of the song, which highlights the social struggles and the community issues of the early 90s. He receives an encore. King K is one of several calypsonians from the Carter's Shining Stars tent, paying tribute to the fallen calypsonians who made significant contributions to the development of the art form. Another is Ann Julie, performing Smokey Burke's 2017 crop over song, Poor Portrait. A passionate musical Shane paying tribute to Romeo with the song Disabled People. Francois, dressed the part, puts in the effort to deliver Invaders' hit How You Feel, which won the 1992 Piccadilly Crop Crown. Lady J, also in full form, performing the Mighty Caru's popular 1995 released Snakes. And the young star Blazer impressively ending that special tribute session with Bongo's Take It or Lump It. Tent manager Julie Lady Virtue Seeley says she wanted to bring the tribute show to Barbadians for a while now and is happy it has finally happened.
Because I believe that persons who have laid the foundation, we should never forget those persons, especially lay the foundations for persons like me and for Lil E, to be able to move forward in this crop over season. So I am very grateful and very thankful that the Carter's Shining Stars was able to put on this fantastic showing of those veterans that have gone to the great beyond, lest we forget.
Calypsonian Ronnie the Announcer Clark did an excellent job of narrating the history of the Calypsonians honored to the audience. He says it is important to pay tribute to those who have paved the way for people like himself and others to benefit from the industry.
I recognized in 2026 there's a desire to overlook the past and be trendy and be current, but if you don't have any roots, you don't have any growth, you don't have any history, and those who were honored tonight it was a blessing to have their family members in attendance to show that we love them and we recognize them.
And while Kincaid was not even born when Cat Attack was ripping the airwaves, he is happy to honor Observer, who happens to be one of his idols.
I watch his performances and try to pick out most of the things he do, but still do it in my own way.
Tokens of appreciation are presented to relatives of the Calypsonians honored. Onesta Henry, CBC News.
Good evening with Sport, Sam and more Goodrich boys. Barbados wrapped up their FIBA America pre-qualifiers campaign in style, completing an unbeaten run after a convincing 96-84 victory over St. Vincent and the Grenadines at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall in Guyana, beg your pardon. The win secured top spot in Group B, booking their place in the next stage of the competition. Barbados in their traditional blue and yellow taking on neighbors St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Early days in the contest, that man, Kieran Alexander, what a way to start proceedings from downtown, 3 points. Lawrence Ricks then picked up the basketball and did this marvelous stuff to the rim. Barbados, knowing a win would see them progress, were in the mood. Carl Thorpe from the three-point line, counted. Brandon Smart with 15 points and Shad Thomas 16 were the main men for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Second half now, Alexander causing more problems for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He had a game-high 32 points. Hand down, man down. Barbados dominated the game after the third quarter. The big man, Akeem Marsh, in the paint. Watch it dry. And Team Barbados went on to win 96-84 to advance to the next round. The West Indies women have secured the ODI series against Ireland after captain Hayley Matthews and Stephanie Taylor smashed centuries to guide West Indies women to a 6-wicket victory in the second one-day international today. Now chasing 242 for victory, Matthews struck an even 100, including 14 fours and 2 sixes, while Taylor finished unbeaten on 100 with 14 fours and 1 six, as the Windies reached their target at 242 for 4. The victory gives the West Indies women an unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-match series. Now earlier, Ireland posted 241 for 7, led by Amy Hunter 67 and Rebecca Scottles 57. Deandra Doughton took 2 wickets for 15 runs, while Matthews also claimed 2 for 34. The third and final ODI is set for Wednesday, with the West Indies women aiming to complete a clean sweep. Barbados ended the 2026 edition of the North American, Central American and Caribbean Athletics Association Under 18 and Under 23 Championships with 16 medals when the 3-day event concluded today in Mexico. Now, Jaden Green stormed to a new personal best of 20.17 seconds to win gold in the Under 23 boys 200 meters, while Kelia Bentham secured a bronze in the girls' equivalent, clocking 23 seconds in the Under 23 division. Layla Haynes also starred for Barbados, registering a time of 2 minutes, 07.8 seconds to strike gold in the Under 23 girls 800 meters. Tion Haynes had a podium finish as well, clinching the silver medal in the Under 23 boys long jump with a leap of 7.50 meters. In the Under 18 boys long jump, Jazier Best won bronze with a best jump of 6.96 meters, while on the track, Jakai Brewster crossed the line in a new lifetime best of 20.91 to win silver. Barbados then captured 2 more medals, silver in the Under 23 girls 4x100 meter relay, with the quartet of Naya Brown, Anaya Nurse, Kelia Bentham and Kishonna Knowles clocking 44.60 seconds. And then in the Under 23 boys 4x100 meter relay, that team of Tion Haynes, Jaden Green, Amari Knight and Aragon Straker took bronze in 39.59 seconds. The Barbados team is scheduled to return home tomorrow.
And that's it for our news. Remember, you can follow CBC on our WhatsApp channels and visit our website at www.cbc.bb to watch TV8 live. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Thanks for joining us and do enjoy the rest of your night.